Friday's Telegraph. And can you really call yourself a community if you can't sit in the same room together, Lewis?
Well, this is an interesting story because I thought we had like the EU and then there's the United Nations. But oh no, Macron wants to start this new thing to bring in all the countries of Europe. I didn't even realize there were 44 countries.
So this is the European political community. This is Macron's brainchild.
I already vote to leave it.
We should have a referendum. We're not even in it.
Inaugural European political community means Brexit.
Yes. OK, well, the problem, the article is specifically about the seating issue because he's invited all of these people. They're either, some of them are in the EU, some of them are not in the EU, but they won't sit together.
Yeah, well, you've never been to a wedding.
I've been to many weddings, and I've
Why has he not been to a wedding?
I've been to weddings.
Oh, that's right, he is married.
I've been to weddings with people.
That doesn't count.
Who hate
His
each other.
kind doesn't.
I understand that.
Yes, exactly,
Yes,
and that's what this
strategic.
is. And countries hate each other.
Yeah.
And I think if you take a look at this, what's that? The bar scene in Star Wars.
Yeah.
when they're not happy being next to each other. And you look at the countries that don't want to be with each other. They're all the typical countries that don't. There's no surprises there.
Well, I mean, but also, surely any international diplomatic situation. I mean, we had this even with the Queen's funeral. There were certain people who were invited, certain ambassadors who couldn't sit together. You're always going to have to consider this. I suppose it's particularly tense at the moment with the row between Turkey and Sweden. They're particularly worried about that because Turkey have accused Sweden.
And Turkey and Greece.
And Turkey and Greece, right. So
And Turkey and Armenia.
Right, exactly. So all of this stuff's going on.
So maybe it's best not to invite Turkey. Because they're just causing trouble.
Well, Erdogan always causes trouble. So I think maybe you should be in charge of the seating arrangements.
I would say, Erdogan, when you calm down, you can come back.
You know what? That is a pretty good idea. I think we should get Lewis, lock him in a room with anyone who's causing trouble, and then they're just going to agree to whatever. They're like, please let me out.
I'll talk to my enemies, so I don't have to talk.
I wonder about this stuff, though. You know, is the European political community just a vanity project for Macron? You know, he's always seen himself, hadn't he, as the head of the EU, or at least the sort of the big cheese. That's why he was so personally affronted when the UK left. But is this just... I mean, I know this was in response to the Russia-Ukraine war. This is something, you know, the instability of the pandemic. There are various reasons why people ought to get their heads together when it comes to geopolitics.
Yeah.
But Macron, I just think with him...
I'm sure it's a bit of both.
Well, we don't know what it is, do we? We don't know what it is.
Well, we don't know what it is yet, but they're meeting. They've already got a bunch of other meetings coming up. Communication is a good thing. I don't see it as
I think you're exactly right. You're exactly right, Andrew. You have to remember that the European Union itself was France. It was the goal of France. It was created by France.
Well, I mean, certainly Macron was seen as someone who was very much a driving force.
But this is like years and years ago, whatever, in the 1950s.
Anyway, we're going to move on now to